Coming up on Jag News.
The girls' basketball team had an undefeated season, but their chance of bringing home the state championship was cut short.
And security is conducting random checks in classrooms. We'll show you what's behind these surprise visits.
And 9-year-old boys are typically outside playing with their friends, but this kid is inside flipping out with South Mountain actors.
Coming to you from the Broadcast Center at South Mountain High School, it's Jag News Now.
Welcome, Jaguar Nation, to this week's edition of Jaguar News. I'm Amanda Salome.
And I'm Leilani Robinson. You may have noticed more security coming into your classes lately. South Mountain campus is under a new strict ID policy. That's our top story. Jaguar News reporter Nancy Santos brings the details of this new crackdown at South.
Many students do not bother wearing their IDs, but now security is entering classrooms at random times to make sure you do. Jag News follows security as they made their surprise visits.
We're checking IDs to make sure everybody has them on for the safety of the campus, making sure who's who on campus.
We followed them. They found about one student every class who did not have their ID. Security removed students without IDs from class and took them to go get a temporary one.
Send the kid down. He's wearing a black shirt and.
Some kids say they were just unlucky.
On the days where I do bring my ID, they don't check, and on the days I don't, they check. I went to the bookstore, and it cost 50 cents to get a temporary ID.
The administration is conducting these random security checks after several on and off-campus fights.
We will not tolerate this behavior on campus. We are now enforcing ID policy, tardy policy, ditching policy. If you are ditching, if you're tardy, if you're not wearing your IDs, we are now having to do sweeps of classrooms. The reason we're doing this is because there are so many fights on campus.
It's a message you've heard before, but this time you need to make sure you have your ID, because if not, you can have detention or ISS be issued to you. I'm Nancy Santos reporting for Jaguar News.
Have your ID on.
A lot of students are wondering why their grades aren't being posted online. The registrar's office tells us that it's not a requirement for teachers to update their gradebook as soon as possible. One teacher tells us that his grades are often delayed because he's busy with extracurricular activities such as sports and tutoring. The only requirement is that teachers submit semester grades for students. If you're worried about your grade, just ask your teacher on your own time.
All juniors will be able to take the ACT for free April 22nd. ACT stands for American College Testing and is a college entrance exam. The test consists of 4 parts: math, science, reading, and writing. The district curriculum is based on the ACT test. Students can take advantage of this tutoring during the first 3 days of spring break, which are March 17th, 18th, and 19th. This is a chance you want to take advantage of. The Phoenix Union High School District is paying for the test, which usually costs around $47.
Testing is not over. The Math Ames test takes place April 8th for sophomores, juniors, and seniors. The Science Ames test is April 9th for sophomores and freshmen who are currently taking biology.
Staff and students attended the Taste of Soul. The Taste of Soul is an event honoring African American heritage by tasting their culture. The food served included greens, mac and cheese, catfish, potato salad, beans, ribs, chicken, and hot links. For dessert, there was peach cobbler, cake, and pie. The gospel choir sang songs. Staff and students recited poems. Dion Clark was the guest speaker. He also runs the Legacy program here at South, and the STEP team performed. Next up on sports, see how the girls finished off their basketball season.
And here's Xavier Ziegler with sports.
Thanks, guys. The spring sports season has started, but first, let's take a final look at how postseason play turned out for our Jaguars in basketball and wrestling. The boys' basketball team faced Shadow Mountain in sectionals. This game determined what seed South would be placed in for state playoffs. Here, Isaiah Shelton brings it up the court to D, and Zylan Cheatham with the putback. South unfortunately lost the game 63-92, but boy was it a show. They were the 21st seed, but lost against Gilbert Christian 71-75, along with their hopes of a state title. It's okay, guys. As for our Lady Jaguars, they were the talk of the winter season. They were undefeated going into sectionals. Then they made their way to the quarterfinals. But Jaguar News reporter Daniel Kiwi shows us that they ran into a little bit of trouble.
After not dropping a game in the regular season, Our Lady Jaguars went to the Jobbing.com arena with hopes of winning their first game in the quarterfinals. Seton Catholic High was tough. The game ended tied 41-41. But then in overtime, the girls couldn't pull it out and lost 54-44. Players we talked to later said they played their part and were in it to win it.
I think I did an outstanding job. Like, my head was in it, like I played like I wanted it, and I was being a team player.
Overall, our girls had a terrific season, even though some things were out of their hands.
All the injuries, it might have slowed us down some.
Like, when we got down, like, we could have came better as a team.
This year's team has shared many memories together and have much to remember.
I remember Coach Kano doing everything for me. Like, I appreciate that. I remember all the good times we had, the team bonding and the jokes and practice and stuff. And most of all, going 18-0.
Next year, the girls feel confident that they will go even further. I'm Danielle Kiwis reporting for Jaguar News.
He could be the most unappreciated coach at South Mountain High School. At least, that's what his team says. Coach David Cruikshank has been coaching track and cross country for over 35 years. But he isn't just a coach. As Jaguar News reporter Jorge Terrazas explains, he's a father figure to most of his runners.
It's natural for runners like Baltimore Reese to lace up before they start running. But for this senior, his shoes have a special meaning to him.
I remember when I first started cross country, I didn't have shoes to run in, so he gave me 2 pairs of his shoes. One was for practice and the other ones were to warm up during races, and that helped me out a lot.
Junior distance runner Jairo Zacarias has also received shoes from Coach Cruikshank. Before Coach started coaching track, he ran track here at South Mountain High School from 1965 to 1969. His experiences here shaped who he is today.
These are things that I didn't get when I was coming up. I didn't even have shoes, and I had to borrow shoes many times to run, and until my coach began to help me. So I want to be able to give something back to this community and give something back to these kids because they're working so hard, they deserve it. So it's nothing on my part to give.
Coach Cruikshank is not just a great coach, but he is also a father figure to me. And he also gives everybody one-on-one time, and he doesn't favor people.
Cruikshank has a great relationship with his runners. He even has a special name to call his team, Hana.
What does Hana mean? Hana means work. Hana means family. It means strength. It means unity. And to get all of those, you have to work at it. You have to sacrifice. And with hard work and sacrifice and family and strength and unity comes love.
Coach Cruikshank has had many successes throughout his running and coaching career. In 1998, he was inducted into the Arizona Coaches Hall of Fame. But his greatest success isn't a material reward.
Many successes. We've had great cross-country teams here and great track teams. But it's seeing the student athletes go on to better things with goals and ambition. To me, that's the successes that I enjoy most, to see these kids grow.
Coach Cruikshank has 10 state titles with track and cross country combined. Only the great Robbie Robinson has more titles with 13. Whether it's in the track, the classroom, or the mountain, Coach Cruikshank is an inspiration to many. For Jaguar News, I'm Jorge Terrazas.
This year, the athletics department is adding something new on campus. All fall, winter, and spring sports athletes will be in for a treat, as South will hold its very own Student ESPYs. The ESPYs is an award received by individual and team sports, recognizing them for their achievement throughout the year. The Student ESPYs is expected to be held sometime in April in the auditorium. A few awards that will be given at the ceremony are the Best Athlete Award, Top Male and Female Athlete, and also Top Team of the Year. You might not have yet heard, but this year South had 3 wrestlers go to state. Seniors Omar Mejia and Jose Hernandez, along with sophomore Carlos Mianes, all participated in this year's state wrestling competition. However, neither came back with a win. Congrats to the guys for making it that far and representing South Mountain. Well, that's all for this week's sports. I'm Xavier Ziegler with Jaguar News.
be running the Lazy Man Marathon. I can't run a marathon. Yes, you can. I can't run that far. You don't have to run. You can walk, just as long as you finish 26.2 miles by March 31st. Cool. Where do I sign up? Just see Miss Lindley at the council department. Yeah, I can do that.
At 9 years old, most of us were playing outside when we got home from school. But the story is different for this talented kid, who's now on stage with the actors of South Mountain. Jaguar News reporter Saul Hernandez talks to the youngest member of the Tarzan cast.
In this portion of Tarzan, you can see the cast monkeying around on stage. Most of the plays that our drama department puts on only require a cast of students on campus, but this year they need the help of a 9-year-old. Carter Holt is the son of a former student who was volunteered for the role after it was announced. At first, Carter was unsure whether or not he was going to audition, but eventually, he decided to do it.
I was getting nervous and I was going back and forth, should I do it or should I not do it? But I eventually came and I auditioned and I got the part.
When he first came on set, Carter didn't know how the cast would react to him, but he was happy with the reaction he got.
They were like, who is this? He's so cute. So they were all like surprised.
Carter's mother is excited to see her son on the same stage she used to perform on when she came to South.
It is surreal. Walking into the building, the school still looks the same and feels the same and smells the same, so it's really exciting for me.
Fellow cast member Trevon Powell works with Carter the most throughout the play and was surprised with how quickly Carter got into his new role.
I was surprised. Like, he knew his lines before me, you know, he knew all his lines, and he even knew some of my lines too, so I was a bit intimidated, but it was happy that, you know, that he was mature enough to memorize all his lines.
You can see Carter and the rest of the cast when Tarzan swings on the stage next Wednesday and Thursday. I'm Saul Hernandez for Jaguar News.
This year's school-wide production is Tarzan. The show will be on March 5th and 6th. Tickets are $5 for students and $7 for adults. Tickets are sold at the door. The production starts at 7 on both nights.
While most students focus on their grades, 3 aerospace students fly high in the sky. Jaguar News reporter Kevin Exelbon has more details on their solo flights.
South Mountain's very own aerospace program has attracted lots of students from all over the state. It is one of the few magnet programs that actually trains students to fly with an actual plane.
When I was in middle school, there was a recruiter that came for the Phoenix Union High School District, and they had a bunch of brochures for like all the different magnets of this district has. This was just the coolest one, so I came here.
On January 30th, Raul Rosas and Eugenia Ann Way flew alone for the first time ever. They flew from Deer Valley to Gila Bend, Wickenburg, and back to Deer Valley. 2 weeks later, Ubaldo Mijares also flew alone, making 3 seniors successful and earning their very own pilot's license.
It was extremely exhilarating. It was kind of a blur because at that point, I knew that I had to be able to manage a whole bunch of things happening at the same time, and I didn't know exactly how to handle that.
Like, you could die, the engine could fail, you could like fall, I don't know, whatever. But when you get up there, it's like, it really makes it worth it. All the hard work you put in. Wow. It just feels really good to be up there.
Paying for a pilot training is not cheap. Most people pay from $15,000 to $17,000 to train. Luckily, the Phoenix Union High School District will pay for the students. This is Kevin Xtavalan reporting for Jaguar News.
We have the Valentine's Day proposal winners. Stugo held this event last week. Students posted their videos on Instagram. There were 7 entries. All the entries were great, but only one stood out.
The world is coming to an end, and I haven't found my true love yet.
My love, I finally found you. Let down your hair!
Seniors Daniel Fritz and Janet Vanzuela won the Valentine's Day contest and received 2 tickets to the movies with 2 gift cards to Applebee's. As for the plan,
yeah, we plan on going together. Also,
we planned on taking others who helped us with the video and friends to go with us.
That's a wrap for this edition of Jaguar News.
We look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.